Hello everyone, today we will be talking about all the requirements that a Filipina has to do to come to India to meet her Indian spouse. Here are all of the requirements for you to have a look, and we will go through each of the requirements one by one, so everybody is aware of the process and how to make it from Philippines to India with as less hassle as possible. So let's get started.
Okay, first thing you need to do is you should have your passport. I forgot to say that, but you should have your passport. And then for the Filipina, you need CFO. I got my CFO last 2018, and first thing we did is we got an appointment in their website, right?
Yeah. So you could set a date for a CFO in Cebu or Manila.
For the CFO, we went there together, but it's like physical before, right? So now maybe it will be different. They give me a paper to fill up with all of your information. They even put there how you meet your partner, and you need to explain there when and how many years or months you are together. So you need to put it there on the form. And then I pay the fee of 400 there on the counter.
I don't remember. Yeah.
So I paid 400 there, and then I waited, and then we have a seminar for like 5 hours, 4 hours about the things that you needed to stay away from dangerous situations, something like that, and things that you needed to know about your country. And then after that,
Whose country? Your country or my country?
Like the country of your partner.
Okay.
Something like that. It's like a general seminar, and then after that we were separated into groups. The first group is for those who have American partners, something from the West, and then the others are for other countries like Asia. So they explain stuff there, and then after that we have a one-on-one interview with the lecturer. And then in that interview, they are going to ask you proof of your relationship. They will either ask you your photos together if you have met each other already, your videos, and even your conversations. They will read it. And it will be better if you meet each other already, because they will interview you how you really know your partner. Like, are you really sure that you are going to meet him and marry him? They get into detail into asking you some stuff, but you just really need to answer them that you are really determined to go here in India. They will ask for the proof of singleness of your partner.
Yeah, so India as such does not have any document that says that proves that if someone is single. The only thing that you can do to get the proof of singlehood is that you can ask a lawyer to draw up an affidavit of bachelorhood, and the contents have to be provided by you. So here you can see the contents of the document, and once it's done by the lawyer, it has to be notarized, and the lawyer can do that for you. And it's always a good idea to get it apostilled by Mia after it's notarized and handed over to you by the lawyer. In some cases it's optional. Sometimes the document is accepted without any apostille, but sometimes the officer there could really need an apostille because that document is not valid without apostille in other countries. It's pretty simple, straightforward, and you just need to know the right agencies that are involved in getting that bachelorhood.
And then you will also need Sinamar for the Filipina in case they ask you if you are really single or something. And then they will ask for passport photocopies for the both of you. It will be good if your partner will send you signed photocopies with his signature in the photocopy. Yours also.
Yeah, so basically what you need is proof of your relationship, like videos, photos, and conversation. You need proof of singlehood from your spouse. You need your own Sinamar, and you need passport copies of both people involved with their signatures on them. Once you have your CFO, you would get a paper printed saying that you have attended the counseling session.
Yeah.
And that is kind of proof that your counterpart is either single or divorced and eligible to marry you. So the next step would be to apply for a visa. And to apply for a visa, in essence, you only need a couple of things, not a lot of them. Some of the documents may be good to have, but optional and not really necessary to have. You need a filled up visa form to be submitted to the embassy, and the visa form can be downloaded online on the EOI Manila website, which can be provided here, I guess, which is provided here. Right?
Yeah, I can put it somewhere, anywhere.
Yeah.
I'll put the link.
Once the form is done, I guess it requires a 2x2 photograph, and the requirement for the photograph is also available on the EOI Manila website.
Yeah, the photo needs to have a white background of yourself.
Yeah, so it's better to maybe just go to a shop and get it done professionally by someone who knows what they're doing regarding visas than to do it yourself, because there's a very high chance of getting it rejected if the visa does not meet the specifications mentioned on the EOI website. So the visa guys who do it in the studios, they know the drill, and they can get to the perfect picture so that the visa does not get rejected.
Yes.
The only critical document is the invitation letter for marriage and a wedding card, right? And it's also good to have a wedding booking. Invitation letter for marriage is again an affidavit that you have to ask your lawyer to draw up, stating your name, your passport number, your date of birth, your spouse's name, your spouse's passport number, and your spouse's date of birth, and you have to mention the date and venue of the expected marriage, right? And if you do not have an intent to marry, this visa, ex-miscellaneous visa, is not granted. So this visa is specifically for marriage, and the letter is your intent to marry. It shows your intent to marry your Filipino spouse, right? Here you can find a sample of invitation.
Yeah, I will put the sample here and the full screen. You can just screenshot it.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So, wedding card.
I'm saying about the wedding card. You can search on Pinterest wedding card samples, and then you can download Canva and just make it there. Make it look like it's your wedding card. Just simple. They just
An Indian wedding card, a standard one from anywhere, that's fine, which has the date, time, and your parents' name.
Yeah, mine I printed it in a full bond paper. Oh, in a full photo paper. It was so big, but it's okay for them. They just want to see it.
It's also good to have a wedding booking, so we did it in courtmarriage.in, and we got this information from a page on Facebook, Love is Not Tourism India. So maybe you guys want to join that, and it has all this information. When we did a booking on courtmarriage.in, I did not really go through the payment page. I just stopped at the payment page, and they still sent me a confirmation of the booking, right? That's all you need, I guess, and nothing else besides the wedding booking.
Okay, there are a lot of questions that I got on Instagram. They're asking if the wedding booking, like if you needed to book a place for your wedding, but that is not really needed. You just need to do what he said, like the wedding booking one, and then you don't need to do anything. There is no payment or anything. You just need to print it and then show it when you apply for your visa.
Right, so the most critical thing is the invitation letter for marriage that's done by the lawyer and notarized by your court, and that should have the expected dates and the venue, and that's critical. I guess the other stuff is really secondary, and that's the most important document that you need in this list. And besides that, also it's good to have passport copies of both the partners, which are signatures. It could be an optional thing, but we didn't want to take a chance couriering her all the documents. I wanted to send everything in one go, so maybe if you want to save some money on the courier, it's better to keep in as much documents as possible. Besides that, there are a couple of things which are not necessary, but it's good to have. If you can send your bank statements signed by a bank manager, and if your Filipina half can take her bank statements, that's good. If the Indian partner could also provide their proof of income. That is also good.
Okay, as for this proof of income or bank statement, I chatted one person on Facebook. She said that the embassy really needed to see proof of income of your partner. She told me that she is supposed to say that she can finance herself, but that is not allowed when you want to go to India and marry. They wanted to see the bank statement of your partner if they can really finance you when you arrive there in India. So I think it's really important.
It's not mentioned on the EU and Manila website, so as I said, it's good to have, and it reinforces and makes them ask you a lot less questions. Additionally, you can also share your income tax returns for last couple of years. That kind of gives them the confidence that everything is in place and the Filipino partner can travel without any problems and everything can be taken care of. Sorry, I forgot about this, but on the EU and Manila website, it's mentioned that there should be booked air tickets for both going to India and coming back from India. I don't know if that is still enforced, but what I read on the website is that even a dummy ticket is okay. You can just search on Google and say dummy air ticket and dummy air reservation, and you can pay like $15 and get a reservation from Manila to Delhi or India, and India back to Manila, and that's kind of valid for 14 days, and that's enough for the visa. So in case you don't want to book real flight tickets, that's a good option, and that's what I did for the return ticket. I just booked a dummy ticket of $10 for her so that it could be given as a proof, but I'm not sure if this is really needed. But it's just good to have.
Yeah, when I send the papers there at BLS, because when I apply for my visa, BLS is still there, and they did ask me for the return ticket, but they did not say anything about the dummy ticket, but they just see that it's there.
I guess now it's EY Manila who is processing the visa and not BLS. So
yeah, BLS is
these documents could be less, right? Because it does not mention on the EY Manila website.
Okay, maybe. Yeah, you can try.
But it's good to have all of them. So if you have all of them, your process is much smoother and much easier, and you don't have to end up answering any unexpected questions.
And they don't need to go back again and again. Sometimes if you don't have complete documents, then they'll ask you to come back.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
Saves you money on the trip as well.
Yes.
So the third thing after you're done with the visa and CFO is the Filipino immigration and what do they need. This is a list of documents again for the immigration, and it's kind of non-skippable. So everything in that list has to be there, and in fact if anything is missing, they just would be looking for an excuse to kind of deport you.
Yeah, so here are the list, and I also made a video about my Philippine immigration interview, so you can also see it. But here are the list of the Philippine immigration when I travel coming here, and if you miss anything, they can offload you, surely.
Yeah. They will most probably offload you.
Yes. So for first is they need the Indian partner's apostilled affidavit of support. This is the first thing that they really asked me when I went there to the immigration. They will really look at this, and they will also see the apostilled one at the back. And for us, we have an apostilled old affidavit of support when I was supposed to be coming here last 2020, and we got a new one for 2021 which is only notarized, and they accepted it.
Yeah, because the last one was not used, so there are a couple of things regarding apostille affidavit of support.
Okay, you can explain how you got it.
It's something similar to the affidavit of bachelorhood. It's something the lawyer can draw up, and it can be done at the same time, right? And you have to just put in like your name, your
we will put a sample
name.
here.
Yeah, there will be a sample here, right? And it just says that you will take care of all the expenses and everything, and you are responsible for your Filipino spouse while they're in India, right? So it has to go through the process of apostillation. That's kind of similar to the affidavit of bachelorhood. And we did hit a snag with the immigration telling us no, apostille is not a valid sticker, and they need like the embassy to authenticate it. So just for your information, and maybe it will be put here or here for you to have a look. Even on the New Delhi DFA website, it mentions that DFA no longer does authentication of documents, especially where documents can be apostilled, right? So it's clearly mentioned, and it is something that we had to explain at the Filipino immigration, so that the immigration officer could go back to the computer and check if what we said is correct or not, right?
Yeah, okay. And then the next one is your CFO certificate. So as for this, the person at the Philippine immigration asked me why I don't have another paper for my CFO certificate.
We are not sure what they wanted,
Yeah.
and we had a discussion after that, but we just told them that this is the only paper that the CFO gave us. This is the only paper. They did not ask us to sign up on a website or something like that, and the immigration officer wanted us to sign up on a website of CFO before we fly. So she let my spouse go and make it to, she was let through the immigration with the condition that she comes here and signs up on the website, right? And we tried to sign up on the website, and we got a mail saying that
I already applied, right?
yeah, it's not needed.
Yeah.
Right. They said that is only needed when she goes back and she wants an X visa sticker, and she needs an X visa for that. Something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah, it's
But
confusing.
that paper was more than enough, and the key to this is knowledge, and you should know what is required and what is not required.
Yeah. So next is the health insurance.
It's like travel health insurance. It should have COVID covered. That's like
Yeah.
universal to anybody out flying out of
And
Philippines.
about the repatriation something.
Yeah, so it should have an evacuation clause saying that in case you fall ill in some
Yeah.
other country, the insurance company will take care of all the expenses of getting you back and treating you, right?
So
I
we
got one from
Yeah.
AXA Philippines, but I guess maybe you can try something like safety wings. It's a little bit cheaper, and just check out what they have in safety wings. But if not, then I think the safest option is AXA Philippines, because that kind of takes
Yeah.
care of everything, and they
Yeah.
deliver the policy instantly in the email.
They have all of the required
For
something.
traveling. Yeah, so they
required
have
for
all
traveling.
the clauses, like they cover the evacuation clause, they cover COVID-19,
Yeah.
which is like a must.
And they covered repatriation in case you need to be sent home when you're
Yeah.
sick. And then you need your valid visa.
Yeah, I think that should be
Of
number one.
course. Yeah. Okay, your valid visa. And then next is your negative COVID-19 test. As for me, I got my negative COVID test at Philippine Red Cross in Parañaque, but I did not really like how they did stuff there. I applied for it. We put my PhilHealth number, but you should really put your passport number when you applied, and like type your information there in the website when you
Right.
apply for an appointment. You really need to put your passport and not anything else. When I got the result within 24 hours, they did not put any ID number there. So I called them that I needed to put an ID number there. The first lady said, yes, we can put your passport number there, and I give her my passport number. And then the second time we called them, the lady said that they don't do these things. So my flight is within 72 hours when I got the COVID-19 negative test.
I think we only have 24 hours left. I guess.
Yeah, okay, like 24 hours. So the next day I really need to come out, and I really needed to go back to Philippine Red Cross and tell them to put my passport number on the paper. And I needed to wait like 1 hour plus there, sitting there waiting for them to put my passport number, and it was taking very long. If you want to get your RT-PCR test, I don't really recommend going to the Philippine Red Cross. Maybe you go to other hospital or something, because their customer service is not really good. Yeah, I don't recommend it. And then after this is you fill up your SUVIDHA form.
Yeah, that might have changed. So I do not know if there is still a SUVIDHA form, or if they are accepting vaccines right now. So it's something you could go to the Delhi airport website, and this is a link, right? And the link is gonna be here, right?
I don't know where I will put it, but
Okay, so the link is somewhere, right? Okay. So So the Air SUVIDHA form may have changed, or it might be still the same. So please go through that website and see what are the new requirements. But that's something you need before boarding your flight, because that's something that's going to be checked everywhere along the way.
Yeah, it's critical. They will really look for it.
In print.
Yeah, in print. They will really check it. You really need to fill it up in case it's needed when you come here. And then next one is the Bureau of Immigration Self-Declaration Form. This is also very important. They will really look for it even by the time that you enter the airport.
Yeah, it's good to have all of this filled pre-hand and printed all pre-hand, because the interview by the immigration takes quite a bit of time, and you're not left with a lot of time to take a flight. You could even probably miss your flight. So and even the airlines take a bit of time to discuss on the new visa sometimes, and they're not aware of it.
Maybe you tell them where you got that form.
I guess I got it from the Philippines Airlines website in the travel guidelines
Oh,
somewhere,
yeah,
and there is a
yeah,
link that gave me the form, right? So I just kind of printed that form.
Yeah, so I downloaded it and then I filled it up. Make a printout of all of the papers so that you will not have a lot of problems when you get to the airport. Okay, the next one you need is your Indian partner's bank statements. And then you will also need your own bank statement, because they also asked for my bank statement. I told them that I only printed my bank statement from the website of the bank, because I cannot get my own bank statement from other branch, because they told me that I can only get bank statement way back in my place, and that's not possible. So I only printed it and then I just show it to them, and they're okay with it.
What she means is that she took an online copy of her
online copy of my bank statement,
and she printed that because it was not possible to print from her original branch.
Yeah, I went to Manila. No, I asked the bank there, and then they told me that that is not possible. I needed to get bank statement from my place in Mindanao, which I cannot do. So I just printed it out and hope that the immigration is going to be okay with it, and they are okay with it. So
and the last one is Indian partners proof of employment. I guess that's kind of critical everywhere. So
yeah, they will really ask you like how can you finance yourself when you go to India if you don't have all of this bank statement stuff.
And then the last thing is the return ticket.
Yeah, even though I'm going to stay here because I'm going, like I married him, but the immigration officer still asked me for my return ticket, and she asked me when I will come home.
So this ticket is most probably not a dummy ticket and not a good idea to have a dummy ticket.
Yeah, everything should be real.
So what we did was we booked on my credit card for Emirates, and Emirates gives a full refund during COVID, and when she traveled here I did a refund and I got a refund during my credit card period, so I didn't have to pay anything. It just got debited and credited back to my credit card.
Yeah, and the return ticket is very expensive, so you really need a full refund. Yeah, and then lastly is the Indian immigration. There are some people asking me what did Indian immigration ask me, but when I arrived there, I looked for the booth for the immigration, in the counter, and then the guy just asked me, but I give him my papers, and then he just took my passport and he looked at my visa, and then he asked me to take off my mask, take pictures, and then take picture of my iris, something like the eyes, like look here, something. And then he stamped it. That's it. I went out. He did not ask me anything.
They're so happy to have you here.
I was so happy because I thought they were gonna ask me a lot, like, what are you doing here? Why are you gonna marry? Like stuff like that. But he did not ask me anything.
They don't care. They're like, hey,
he just stamped it, and I went.
Very friendly country.
Yeah, it's very nice. I'm so happy they did not ask me anything.
And there could be a question that we had was that what do we do about the flights, right? And because flights are not allowed, there are no direct flights. To minimize the risk, what we did was we took Emirates, and Emirates on a one single ticket, right? So even though it goes via Dubai to India, it was on one ticket. She could check in and she did not have to check out again and again, and her luggage made it all the way here. She had COVID insurance in that ticket. So there are many benefits of having that ticket. It's unlimited times rebookable, at least at that point of time. I'm not sure about now. So it's good to get it in advance and then kind of keep putting our dates into the future. It's critical to know which flight to book and which not, because if you have two different flights on two different tickets, it could cause a problem because you might have to go through all of those questions and scrutiny of your visa again, and then there could be an ifs and buts. So Emirates was super awesome in the way they handle it and the kind of knowledge they have, and how they let her just through each checkpoint. It was amazing. So they are really aware about the visas, which I'm not sure about other airlines. I did try to bang my head with a lot of airlines, right, and they have no clue what's happening. At least they did not have any clue what's happening. So in the end I said, okay, chuck it, let's just go with Emirates, because Emirates knows what they're doing, right? And I chatted with Emirates, they had all the answers, right? Those guys know what the rules and what to do, and they go out of their way to actually make you land at your destination. So 5 stars for Emirates.
Yeah, they did a good job, and the food there is really good. So yeah.
The food.
So
What to give is the food.
At the plane, he got me Indian food, and the Indian food there is really good. So that's it for this video, for all of the requirements that we did for me to come here. And for our next video, we are going to film about the requirements that you need for you to marry here in India, like court marriage requirements.
Yeah, that's something that you might have to do before traveling to here as well. So maybe you want to hang out till the next video before doing all of your other requirements.
We will upload the next video soon after this video, so maybe you needed to wait for that video also if you really want to marry here and settle down. So that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have more questions, you can comment it or you can message me on my Instagram and Facebook, and I will try to answer your questions. But it would be better if you message me on Instagram, because I'm more active there than Facebook.
Yeah, I just want to say before you proceed with trying to get an ex-miscellaneous visa for your spouse, please drop in a mail to the embassy and ask them if they're even willing to give you one, instead of just showing up at the doorstep of the embassy and then getting a refusal and asking them to go back home. So you may not be in Manila, you may be in some other state, so it's a good idea to contact them somehow and ask them if they are okay and willing to provide you the document based on your history with your spouse. So in our case it was easy because we were already engaged, and that's one of the key factors that kind of convinced the embassy to give us one visa, and I guess they are happy to give it to somebody who is legit. So
that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and see you on the next video. Ooh, bye.
You're so nervous during videos.
Me?
Yeah.